Let's talk about VFC, Mark, because this one, as Mark said, they have a lot of brands under VFC Corp. This one in particular, we had on 3 at 3 yesterday. 3 at 3 is the show that I do where I talk about the biggest unusual activities of the day. I picked 3 of those, and one of those 3 was indeed VFC. And so we had the chart of unusual option activity in there, and they were indeed buying upside calls. And here it is. They beat by about 4 cents on the bottom line number. They beat on the top line number as well. So a lot of positives for this one. The stock was right at 1650, and it explodes to the upside today, Mark. So good news there.
Yeah, I mean, it's slightly off the day's high of 1886, but still holding at almost a solid 13% up on the day, $18.56. These folks make a lot of things, a lot of brands that you all know, North Face, Vans. They did own Supreme. I alluded to that in the cold open. Mm-hmm. They sold that off. That helped these numbers. That was a $600 million addition to the bottom line, non-recurring, of course. Interesting decision as to why they sold the Supreme brand. Not totally sure. But listen, what's interesting to me about this story, you've heard me talk about this even in the last quarter of earnings season. When it comes to specialty, consumers are still willing to spend on the stuff that they have deep affinity to. And John, footwear stays at the top of that pack.
Yeah. Well, in any of the hipster TV shows, Mark, you go into people's closets for these reality shows, they're loaded with footwear of all types, whether it's women with the red bottoms. That would be
they don't own that company.
Christian Louboutin.
Yes.
Or whether it's guys with the tennis shoes. So Vans would fall into that category, perhaps. There's a lot of interest in footwear, and it's not a hugely, at least for a lot of us, not a hugely expensive expenditure when you're talking about footwear. Now, for ladies, yeah, those red bottom shoes are $1,000 plus.
It is.
I know,
and that's an LMVH brand, if I remember correctly. And it's not even a footwear story or a sneaker story. It's where we see these continued areas of strength in consumer spending, notwithstanding that core things still remain high, notwithstanding that people have all-time high credit card debt, all-time low inflation-adjusted savings rates. They're still spending on something.
Yep.
And this is one of the somethings that they're spending.
Exactly.